we're on a phone call. We're talking about, I'm a prospective seller and I'm looking into the process. And so you're just trying to get the appointment.
We're just on the phone.
Yes, we're on the phone right now.
Bummer. Okay.
All right. So actually this one, we won't get as much value if we do it that way. We're at a listing appointment. Let's do it that way. I think it'll be better for everyone. So we're at the listing appointment. I'm interviewing you. So what you said sounds great, Karlee, but I guess my last question is, I did hear that Redfin will do it for 1%, so I'm kind of curious about that. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, great question. Have you spoken to Redfin?
Not yet, but I did see their ad this morning before you came over, so I was kind of wondering about that.
Yeah, it's good probably to find out what they're going to offer for that 1%, so I would encourage you to ask those questions. We went over what we do. What are you looking for? What the best outcome to you?
I'm looking for the agent who will sell my house for the most amount of money.
Right. So, and I would like to do that as well, because the more money you make, the more money I make, right? So Redfin works a little differently. I could share a little bit with you. They are salaried. So there's not a lot of, whatever you sell your house from, they get paid regardless. And I think it's important to probably ask those questions and find out exactly what value you're going to get from that. Mm-hmm. The 1%, keep in mind that's for listing your property. But for a buyer to come in, there's also a commission paid to the buyer's agent, about 2.5%. So that 1% is a little misleading, great marketing strategy, but I would encourage you to dive into what you actually get out of that.
Okay.
And I'm here to, get you the most for your house. That's what we do. I think we kind of showed the steps of how we get there. And what other questions about Redfin do you have, or other agents?
I guess that was the main one. I mean, I love what you said. If they can do it for cheaper, though, I was just wondering if that might be a better route. Yeah,
I think if you want someone working in the field and doing not a salaried position, not a 9-to-5. I'm not a 9-to-5 agent. I don't think people come to look at properties during the 9-to-5 hours. So that's a huge difference. You have someone working on your team.
I can see that.
Yeah. So you essentially get what you pay for in a way, but also you get the exposure. And Okay,
thank you. So setting the stage, we're at a listing appointment. I'm interviewing some agents, and that's where we're at.
Great.
So Mike, what you said, a lot of what you said sounds great. I guess my last question was, I did see an ad this morning before you came over. I saw that Redfin will do it for 1%, so I'm kind of curious about that.
That makes sense. A lot of the people that I've talked to in the past have brought that up as well, because that's their value proposition. That is their marketing strategy, is we do it for 1%. So I'm really glad that you brought that up. What I'm curious about, when it comes to that 1%, what are you most looking to obtain by going with a 1% brokerage?
Well, I mean, I want to sell my house for the most money, so I figure if I'm giving less in a commission, I'll make more money on the sale of my home.
Okay, so if I'm following that line of thought, are you most concerned with how much you're paying for services, or how much you're getting at the end of the transaction?
Getting at the end. I want to make the most amount of money in my pocket possible.
Perfect. Okay, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. So when it comes to real estate, when it comes to selling your home, this is weird to do in front of everybody. When I've sat down in front of sellers in the past, this usually comes up when it comes to the end result. So what we've done is we've actually gone in and done the research for you. And when you compare other realtors to myself in the Whissel Realty Group, you can see here that it usually boils down to two main factors that sellers like yourself make the decision to hire us or not hire us. And that boils down to how fast we can sell your home and how much we can sell your home for. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So you can see on this slide here, when you take the average agent, including Redfin, versus myself, I'm actually selling your home for twice as fast. Would that fit into your timeline to get to Arizona like we were talking about?
It would, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Now, selling your home fast is good, but what it really boils down to is how much I'm going to put in your pocket.
Right.
So you can see on this slide, when you compare the average agent, including Redfin, to us, oh, I didn't know this was timed.
That's okay.
I remember my first time. All right, so we're going with Mike. Reason is he was doing the answer and ask and acknowledge and ask perfectly, right? You guys, that was like a perfect demonstration of exactly how you do that, where she would ask questions, say, what I understand is this, is that correct? Great, now let me ask, and then he'd go into the next question. I think he did a really good job with that. I think, Karlee, you were going down the right track, and then you kind of got stalled out halfway, and you even asked, like, what other questions do you have? We never want to get to that point. Because at that point, like, that's almost like us waving a white flag. I got nothing else. Like, where do you want to go from here? Instead, get them to confirm, hey, have I addressed all of your questions to this point? Something like that, as opposed to what other questions do you have? It's a more confident statement. And then if you say, hey, have I addressed all of your questions and concerns? Yes, great. The next step is, boom, sign, right? So that would have been a better close there, where you would actually hit it. And then you were like, well, where do we go from here? You like let go of the control at that point, where Mike controlled it the entire time, and he controlled it by asking succinct questions throughout the conversation. Even though he did get nervous. See, even the best get nervous in front of a crowd. So, cool. All right, next up.